That's why we're going to put more wind mills and wind power off the shore of New Jersey than any other state in this country. And that's why we're creating 20,000 jobs, green-collar jobs, that are going to put New Jersey back to work. We're making the right choices for our great state, New Jersey. Thank you, babe. We like it. We also know we have an affirmative role in helping our neighbors weather this global economic crisis. That's why we're the first state in the nation to pass a comprehensive economic recovery plan. And by the way, you've heard a couple of times, it looks a lot like the one that's going on in Washington right now. We're putting 40,000 people to work building highways, bridges, tunnels, and schools, and building green-collar jobs because we know we need good-paying jobs now for our workers across New Jersey. But we haven't lost track of the most vulnerable. That's why we're increasing funds for food banks, home heating assistance for seniors, and legal services for the financially distressed. We have a heart in New Jersey, and we protect those that don't have a voice for themselves. Because we're making the right decisions, New Jersey will emerge from this global crisis sooner and stronger. I believe it, you know it, and it's going to happen. My opponent disagrees, and I think you've probably heard he ridicules almost every action we take. He even opposed President Obama's recovery plan. He said New Jersey should turn down federal dollars. Think about that. What kind of policy is it to turn down help from Washington when we have people that are unemployed, losing their homes, losing their health care? He sided with the party of no, and it's time to say no to Chris Christie and the people in the Republican Party. They said no to tax cuts for working families, no to billions of dollars for schools and health care, highway construction, green energy projects, college tuition, grants, and 100,000 jobs. That's when you said no to President Obama's economic recovery program, and I think it's time for us to say no to that kind of decision. What do you think? Billions of dollars of aid when New Jersey sends more off to Washington than we get back. Doesn't make much sense. That judgment reflects the wrong values and the wrong choices. New Jersey voters are savvy enough, thoughtful enough, all of you guys are pretty smart, to distinguish right choices from wrong ones, right? My opponent promises the moon. We heard this before. We heard it a lot in 2000. He says they'll cut government, increase spending, slash taxes, and somehow, abracadabra, they'll balance the budget. He's got a secret plan. He won't tell us whose taxes he'll cut. He said he might lay off as many as 20,000 public employees, but he won't say who or when or at what consequence. He won't tell you which services will end, or whose teacher, whose police officer, or firefighter will be laid off. He just says we should trust him. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm not about to put my trust in the same folks who gave us George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, John Ashcroft, skyrocketing unemployment, a housing crisis, bank bailouts, and a war in Iraq. We've all seen this movie, right? It's called Bushwhacked. We didn't like it the first time, and we won't like it in the reruns. New Jersey can't afford to be bushwhacked again, neither can America. Yes, my opponent says we shouldn't worry about the specifics, but it's a pretty specific problem when someone loses a job. It's a very specific problem when someone loses their health care, and it's a very specific problem when a family loses its home. New Jersey voters deserve a governor who respects them enough to offer real solutions to the very real problems this state and this nation face. Sadly, the only thing the Republicans have offered is the longest, deepest economic recession in 80 years. Vice President Biden said it best on Tuesday in West Orange. He said, and I quote, "Everyone knows that your state inherited a very difficult circumstance. left behind by the last administration in Washington, D.C. An administration that created an economic meltdown that just went not just in the United States, it had worldwide ramifications. It had a tremendous impact on the state of New Jersey, end quote. Mr. Vice President, you were right. The people of New Jersey didn't create this economic crisis, but we've been left to clean up the Republican mess, and that's where we're working with the President of the White House, and we're going to get it done. Together, we'll get it done. I don't think it takes a genius to ask the question, why would we want to go back to the same failed policies that created this crisis in the first place? Now, we all know there's a lot at stake in this election, right? Right? New Jersey Democrats believe that America is stronger because of its diversity. We're proud that our state has always welcomed immigrants. We know they enrich our lives and our culture. We trust women to make their own health care decisions. We believe government should allow people the freedom to marry whomever they love. And while we and I believe in the right to bear arms, we do think that buying one gun a month should suffice. We believe in the prevailing wage and project labor agreements, too, for labor. My opponent and his Republican allies say that government should be small, maybe small enough to slip under your bedroom door, small enough to root for a new president to fail, narrow enough to divide us by gender and ethnicity over a Supreme Court nominee, self-righteous enough to dictate religious beliefs to the rest of us on stem cell research, family planning, and even science curricula. Can you believe it? And short-sighted enough to think that unions fail the workers that they serve. We must be bigger than that, right, New Jersey? Right? Our party is black, white, and brown, all colors, people from all economic stations. What a great place this state is. We believe the American promise is for everyone. Yes, we live in challenging times, but I have never been more hopeful or optimistic. And by the way, if you follow what's happening in the news, the economy is even showing those early signs of life that are brought on by sensible, responsible, progressive politics and judgments in Washington by our great President Barack Obama. And history shows we get through challenging times if we work hard and make the right choices. Over the next 151 days, I'm going to make it clear to New Jersey what my fighting spirit is all about. I believe fighting for you. I believe it. I believe in all of you, and we're going to stick together. And believe me, I've been a fighter all my life. As a son of a struggling farm family, I know what it's like to be on the long end of a shovel. I spent my college summers pushing concrete as a construction laborer. Got a card, by the way, laborers. I know what it's like to be toughened by basic training in the Marine Corps. By the way, and I want you to hear this, I hear jarheads have attitude too. I'm proud to serve my country in uniform, and I respect all that do. And I know what it's like to survive a near fatal accident and fear that I might spend the rest of my life impaired and miss watching my grandkids grow up. I remember waking up in Cooper Hospital after 11 days in a coma and seeing my 3 kids, my brother, and the woman I love, Sharon Alganian, who's right down here at my bedside. I knew then and there I'd walk out of that hospital. Here's the message. Tonight, I feel just as confident, just as strongly, just as certainly. You can be sure that I'm going to fight like hell for our values, working together. Every dream we share is within our grasp, and working together we'll win this election, and we'll win the fight for a more prosperous, progressive New Jersey, and we're going to make Barack Obama and America proud because New Jersey is on its way back. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. God bless you. Thank you for your help. We love you. Let's go get them. Thank you. We love you.